Hey, if you're moving to Knoxville and you start looking anywhere west of downtown, two names are going to come up immediately: Farragut and Hardin Valley. On paper, these two areas can look very similar. They both have great school systems. They're going to have newer homes, easy access to shopping and amenities like Turkey Creek, and they're going to be close to Oak Ridge and other major employers. But in real life, they feel very different. And the choice between them usually comes down with how you want your daily life to function, not just the house you're buying. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through Farragut and Hardin Valley side by side, how they feel, how they're laid out, who they tend to attract, and why people often start in one mindset and end up choosing the other. Now, this is not going to be about which one is better. This is going to be about which one fits you. Let's start with geography, because that quietly shapes everything. Farragut sits southwest of Knoxville, hugging I-40 and I-75. It's compact, clearly defined, and very intentional in how it's developed. Now, Hardin Valley sits just north of Farragut, stretching east toward Pellissippi Parkway and west towards Oak Ridge. It's physically larger and more spread out, with development happening in pockets instead of one tight core. That difference alone explains a lot of what you'll feel living in each area. In other words, Farragut feels very contained. Hardin Valley feels open and spread out. Let's start with Farragut. Farragut feels very polished, structured, and established. It's an older community. It has a strong identity. People move there on purpose. They usually know they want Farragut before they ever step foot in Knoxville. On the other hand, Hardin Valley is a newer area. It's still evolving and has more development going on. There's going to be more variety in home styles, neighborhoods, and even how people use the area. It doesn't feel unfinished, but it does feel like it's still deciding what it wants to be long term. If Farragut feels like a town that knows exactly what it is, Hardin Valley feels like a place that's growing into itself still. So people are going to expect big differences in each area, but the reality is a little bit more nuanced. For instance, Farragut housing tends to be slightly older on average, but well maintained. More traditional neighborhoods, smaller lot sizes overall, higher HOA presence, higher entry prices per square foot. A lot of Farragut neighborhoods were built with consistency in mind. You'll see sidewalks, neighborhood pools, clubhouses, and a strong sense of order. Now let's compare that with Hardin Valley housing. You're going to have more new construction and newer subdivisions, a larger geographic spread, more variation in lot sizes, a mix of HOA and non-HOA neighborhoods. Hardin Valley gives buyers more flexibility. You'll be able to find more brand new homes, more modern layouts, homes from the early 2000s, and even pockets that feel semi-rural, all within the same general area. That flexibility is a big reason people who start looking at Farragut sometimes end up in Hardin Valley. Now, in terms of schools and community identity, both areas are known for strong schools, but the culture around them feels different. Farragut schools have a long established reputation. There's a strong sense of pride, continuity, and tradition. Families often stay in Farragut for many years, sometimes generations. School events, sports, and activities are a major part of community life in Farragut. Hardin Valley schools are newer, growing, and expanding alongside the area. The community is more transient, not in a negative way, but because there are more families relocating from out of state or moving within Knoxville. That's going to create a different dynamic in Hardin Valley. You're going to have more newcomers, more families in similar life stages, less legacy, more momentum. Neither is better, they're just going to feel differently. Now let's talk about commute and daily routines. This is going to be another big decision maker when people actually decide where they live. Knoxville is growing, our commute's getting a little bit worse. Farragut is extremely convenient if you commute downtown or you travel frequently on I-40 or I-75. If you want errands to be quick and predictable, everything is close, familiar, and going to be efficient to get to. Hardin Valley works really well. However, if you commute to Oak Ridge to work at one of the labs, RNL, Y12, one of the plants, if you work near Pellissippi Parkway, and you don't mind a slightly longer drive for errands. Hardin Valley driving feels more spread out, but often less congested within neighborhoods. People who value a slightly less driving experience tend to prefer Farragut. People who value space and flexibility are going to lean Hardin Valley. So when it comes to shopping, dining, amenities like that, Farragut is going to be tightly tied to Turkey Creek. You're close to major retailers, restaurants, services. You don't really have to think about much where you want to go. It's all going to be right there. Hardin Valley has grown into its own amenities, but still relies on nearby areas for shopping and dining. That's changing, but it's still part of the experience. And Farragut, convenience is baked in. It's been there for years. Hardin Valley convenience is still improving. So in terms of where to choose, this is what usually clicks for most people. People who choose Farragut often want structure, predictability. They can prioritize older school reputations. They prefer established neighborhoods. They're going to be more comfortable with higher price points. They're in a different point of life. People who choose Hardin Valley often want newer homes, more space, a more modern layout. They're coming in from out of state. They maybe work towards Oak Ridge or Pelisago Parkway, and they're okay with flexibility over polish. And here's the pattern I see over and over. People normally start looking at Farragut because of the name. Then they discover Hardin Valley because of how it actually fits their lifestyle. Farragut and Hardin Valley are both excellent places to live. You would do well in either area, but they solve different problems. Farragut offers stability, reputation, and efficiency. Hardin Valley offers growth, flexibility, breathing room, again, more modern layouts. The right choice isn't about which one is better, it's about where your day-to-day life will feel easier. And that's the difference most people don't realize until they spend time in both communities, both neighborhoods, and houses in both. When you're ready to make the move, or if you're looking for a house now, reach out to me, let's talk. I'd love to help you through the process.